Basically, the golden ratio is for every negative encounter in a relationship, you need to have multiple positive encounters in order to cover up, and at least 5 positive encounters to make up for the one negative experience.
So I've weirdly found myself in tons of situations where older people talk to me about their marriages. And every single time I hear the same damn story, which is we are so amazing. Everything is so beautiful until we have a fight. And for some reason, that conflict feels like it is 10 times bigger than anything else that is good in their relationship. And this is a normal thing I realize that plagues tons of relationships. And on today's episode, folks, we are actually going to be breaking down an exact solution to this universal problem using scientific methods and a way that has been studied by countless psychologists, and even something that's been tried and true in our own personal relationships. So everyone, welcome to the Listening Circle podcast. My name's Anisha LaRoya, and I'm here with my mother, Harleen LaRoya, and we're going to be talking to you about one of our favorite little relationship tricks, which we believe is actually the secret to solving majority of problems in a relationship. Yep. How you doing, Mom?
I am amazing.
So, with this topic, do you want to introduce what the golden ratio is?
Basically, the golden ratio is for every negative encounter in a relationship, you need to have multiple positive encounters in order to cover up, and at least 5 positive encounters to make up for the one negative experience.
Yep, pretty much. So basically, there's a psychologist named John Grotman, and he basically was able to predict divorce with 90% accuracy. And this was studied over decades. And pretty much what he realizes is that those 5 experiences that are positive are needed to neutralize any singular negative one. And so this actually, believe it or not, applies to all relationships. This could be the romantic relationship you have. This could be your friendships. This could be a work colleague. It doesn't really matter. It's pretty much universally applicable. And I feel like you and I have definitely had experiences where this has come to count. So if you can think of how this ratio has applied to your own life and your own marriage, your old marriage versus this one.
I think the first thing I wanted to touch on is, what do we mean by negative encounter, right?
Yeah.
Before we get into anything else. I mean, I think a negative encounter is either an argument, a disagreement, but if it's a conscious agree to disagree, that's not necessarily a negative encounter. No. A negative encounter is when one person feels unheard, unseen, or criticized, and there is work there that needs to be done in the relationship to improve those exchange of words.
And so here's where things get really interesting, because it is impossible to have a serious relationship without any negative encounters. Plain and simple.
Correct.
And what's even more interesting is the reason why the negative encounters feel so big is because naturally human beings put more emphasis on negative encounters, up to 3 to 5 times more significance.
It's almost like what you say in business. Mm-hmm. That if you have a client with a bad experience, they're actually going to go and tell 15 other people versus somebody who had a great experience, which will tell one other person.
100%. So naturally, human beings are actually just wired to be negative. It's how we are. And because of that, when we have those negative experiences with our partner, it actually does outweigh the positive up to 3 to 5 times. And that's where the ratio comes from. It is that neutralization of if the human brain naturally weighs negative encounters 5 times with 5 times more weight, well, then we need things to make up for that 5 times more weight in order to neutralize experiences. Additionally, I think something really important to point out is that the importance of negative encounters in relationships. Because I don't know about you, Mom. I was someone who was in a relationship where I never had any. And one thing I really want to emphasize with people is that negative encounters don't mean a relationship is unhealthy. Because actually, the complete lack of negative encounters also doesn't make up for if there are zero positive
You mean
ones.
if there are people who look at you and say, well, we've been together for 15 years, but we never argue.
Yeah.
And it's like if you live together, you're leading a life together,
You're going to disagree.
You're going to have some discussions that might not be completely beautiful.
I was about to say, like, one of the relationships I was in, not a bad guy at all. I never argued with him. I never disagreed with him. And you know what it was? We also didn't have positive experiences to completely make up for that. And truly, it's because we didn't care.
Yeah. But it's, I do believe that when a woman stops raising any concerns with anything over a period of 6 months to a year to 2 years, it truly means she checked out a long time ago.
100%. And that right there is the danger of the we never argue argument. Because what ends up happening is that if you have a low conflict relationship that also has a low amount of positive experiences, it's still failing.
Yeah.
It's still going to end up being over or not
Right.
being something that keeps both partners satisfied.
Because also, we have to think about, do we want to be in a relationship that just exists, or do we want to create a beautiful, great, thriving relationship where we love more, we live more, and we be more?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
100%.
So do you want to be with someone who stopped giving a damn long time ago? Or do you see where differences are and actually you're able to have those discussions, whether they are, unsettling a little bit, but that you make up for it with positive experiences and gestures and, things like that.
But here, let me also talk about gestures now that you've mentioned it, because I think there's a very terrible habit of people naturally we become complacent the longer we're in a relationship.
Yes.
And we have a very terrible habit of going into repair mode rather than consistently creating small positive experiences. So I'll meet a lot of couples who have many dysfunctional tendencies. And instead of creating daily small experiences that are beautiful, they'll have one person will really disappoint the other and then they'll buy a trip to Paris. Or one person, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Or one person will aggravate the other and then they'll buy them a Rolex. And it becomes these like huge gestures that happen once in a blue moon because they really effed up. That's not what we're talking about here with the golden ratio. Those actually don't even count towards the golden ratio.
Yeah.
What counts is the consistency of the little good things. And I really want to emphasize that because I don't want people to walk out of this episode thinking, oh my God, I have to like buy my partner a vacation or like a purse to make up for the fight we had last Tuesday. Like, no, it's not about that. It's about the little things. So I want you to actually talk about the example this week that you experienced with your husband, my stepfather. That was an amazing example of a possible positive experience.
He usually packs my lunch. And when I was at work and I opened my lunch and he had put this beautiful sticky note and he had just written on it, and which was, to say, hi, love, and expressing whatever it was he wanted to put on that note for me. And I remember sitting at work and the minute I opened it, it literally brought a smile to my face. And it was just so cute. And it was such a little thing, but it meant so much because, he does that sometimes and he'll put this random note for me here and there. And it's beautiful to find. Yeah. So that to me is a great gesture to do.
And I think the key that makes it extra special is that it wasn't done out of repair. It was just done.
No, it was just done.
And I think that's what that golden ratio really, really emphasizes is the fact that it's consistent and it's not just because of repair. It's actually just because you want to.
Yes.
And that's the key. It's not only when you fight, you have to do 5 more things and keep a tally chart.
Yeah.
Finally done.
It's like almost, I have another friend who always says that her and her husband, they try to go for once a week morning coffee dates, or he'll plan a surprise dinner somewhere, or they'll plan a surprise movie night out. And they do that for each other. And I think those are just such beautiful, small little ways of spending time together and having good and great memories.
I'm going to take it even further and say you don't even have to go that far. It can be something as tiny as a text that says, I thought of you today.
Yeah.
A compliment.
Yeah.
A smile. I think the key that he realized in the study was that it wasn't just gestures. It was positive, tiny positive experiences just compounding.
What a lovely way if you tell your partner what you love about them.
Yeah.
I love the way you...
Your wife is curling her hair. And you're like, I love the way you curl your hair.
Yeah.
I love it when you do your hair. It looks so good. Would you say that you and I are good at this? Like as a whole? I think you're amazing at the big gestures.
Again, I think, it's whatever somebody can do in the moment, right? Because the big gestures also don't come out of repair.
No,
they are just
you just do them.
Thoughts and feelings, and it's what I enjoy. I enjoy experiences with my family. Yeah. Right? So to me, I am the kind who will send an invite to the family going, oh, we're going on vacation to Japan. Yeah. And the whole family goes there. And that to me is creating memories together. Yeah. And I enjoy doing that together. But, I'm not the note writer. No. I'm the note receiver.
Yeah. Like I feel like if you wrote me a note, I'd be like, is she being fake? Like it's just so not you.
But I do beautiful texts. So I'll definitely do texts going, hey, just thought of you. Like, I love you or whatever. Yeah. I'll do that randomly out of the blue in order to kind of, because it is true when I think of, somebody I love, I usually tend to like send them a quick text.
I haven't received any of these texts. I just want the viewers to know that this is news to me.
Because I see you all the time and I tell you that to your face.
Also, I want the viewers to know.
Them.
Oh,
because he's far away.
Wow. So I also want the viewers to know that I am now going to be making myself very scarce.
So coming back to these gestures, like one of the things, and I'm going to bring this up and some people might not like me for it, but I've always kind of chuckled where, on social media, I see husbands and wives posting happy birthdays to each other. So you're asking for something similar. When you're together in the same house, I actually prefer to look at you and tell you how much I love you.
Yeah, that's true. I was joking
I know. Yeah. Right? I'd rather do that than somewhere else or post it to the world.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I'm quite private that way in way of expressing my love to my family, especially the close family.
I mean, I don't think you were able to like fully express it until like the age of 40.
Yeah, it needed a lot of self-growth and inner work to get there. Because I was quite the stoic. So
very much the stoic. Yeah. And it happened. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just phases and stages of life.
Exactly.
One thing with me in my relationship is I really feel that like actually I'm the one who's better at it.
Okay.
In a funny way. Mm-hmm. Only because I'm very verbal with my love. Like I'm very like vocal about it. I'm very like it is well known. I say it all the time and things like that. But what I will say he is better at than I am is the acts side of it.
Mm-hmm. Acts of service.
Acts of service. And like, even though he's a bit more quiet, just because of the difference in how we were raised, he's a little bit more quiet, like, about it. Like, he's not just going to randomly every 3 seconds be like, I love you the way I am. Even though he does say it a lot. It's like, I'm like a fucking maniac with it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm honestly nauseating. If a man did not love me, I would just piss him off with the amount I tell him I love. Realizing that your positive experiences and your partners aren't going to always look the same. But that doesn't make either less valid than the other. Mm-hmm. Truly. Oftentimes, the experience we give is the one we want to get. Mm-hmm. But I think one of the biggest things we could do is giving from a place of, oh my God, I love this, so I just want to give it, rather than hoping that we receive it back in the exact same way that we are giving it. Like,
It's not a trade-off.
It's not a trade-off.
It's
And
an expression.
I feel like people will also do what they're most capable of doing. Like there are going to be couples that don't have the money to go on extravagant dates, but that little note that they leave, that is the positive experience. So I think like taking those two things into account is really important for the execution of the golden ratio. Mm-hmm. And so further going on execution, there are actual like steadfast ways you can make sure that you're implementing this with your partner. And that's obviously, you were mentioning before we got on camera that both people need to have the intent to. So go home and talk to your partner about it. Make sure you're on the same page.
Yes.
But something that my partner and I have always talked about that's very important, we call it a relationship audit, which is pretty much like a check-in. If you and your partner are going through a time that's a little bit more rocky, mentally track your ratio for a week. Actually have a board somewhere, it doesn't matter, no judgment, no anger, and see how many negative experiences versus positive ones you are able to create together. Yeah. And make sure you are actually being present and noticing both. And with, as much as I'm not a proponent of tracking anything because I love living in La La Land, when you actually are able to see the numbers, you'll get to the root cause of why you're having issues. Because let's say you do this for a week and you realize, oh my God, we have like averaged 8 negative experiences a day and only 4 positive ones. No. Like this is why.
But 8 negative is a lot.
Okay. I just shot a number.
I was like, ooh, that would mean like every hour of the day.
4 negative and 2 positive ones.
For the week, yeah.
Like you're averaging that every day. Like you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you say 8 is a lot. I'll tell you this. I've observed a lot of couples, even the subtle jabs they do with each other, that is a negative experience. Yes. It doesn't have to be an argument.
Yes, absolutely.
8 is a lot, but I have seen negging. I have seen... Honestly, truly, with a couple with little kids who has a lot going on in their life, 8 isn't that much.
Yeah.
Between the time that they're together and trying to manage everything, you'd be surprised that when you start counting how many negative ones pile up. Yeah. If you're not on top of it. And the important part about that exercise is that it allows you to really be on top of it and be aware.
I think being mindful.
It calls you.
So that's where things start to shift. If you're mindful of your interactions with each other, whether it's your child, whether it's your friend, whether it's your partner, being mindful of those interactions will then lead to understanding if, how you are having your positive and not so positive interactions. And that in turn leads to then you starting to fix what needs to be fixed in order to have a long-term impact and beautiful, relationships from that space. So I think that's kind of like what we are hoping our listeners take away from this episode.
Another thing that you can do with your partner to keep it easier, let's say you don't want to do the relationship audit, because that can be heavy for some couples and it can be a lot if you're very, very busy. Another thing you could do is actually just setting the intention together to be like, we're going to create 2 positive experiences every single day for each other. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what they are. Yeah. But we are going to do that for each other and we're both going to be part of it. And just that can shift how you feel completely. Yep. Can change the course of what you're going through. And also, I think it's really, really important to reframe conflict. Fights are not failure.
No.
Fights are not failure. Obviously, they don't feel good. We don't love getting into that kind of conflict with the person on this planet who we truly love the most. But honestly, if you and your partner just look at it, if you make it less serious and you just look at it as like, oh, well, I guess we now are in debt 5 good experiences, and you kind of make it into your inside thing.
But also, when you say fight is not failure, it's also a starting point to course correct.
Yeah, it's a chance for growth.
Right? So to me, fight is not failure, but it's a chance to grow and course correct, and then also create the humor behind it and have some fun with life.
Yeah. It's like next time you and your partner get into it, it's like afterwards be like, well, shit, I guess we have 5 more good things we got to do now. Like make it into your little game. And truly it does make it feel better.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
On that note, all we want to leave you guys with is you can't really stop conflict. In long-term relationships, you're going to disagree, but what you can do is you can start investing in those positive experiences with each other. Those are going to be what shape the two of you. Those are going to be what change the way you feel about each other. And those are going to be what keeps it sustainable long-term and what allows you to look back with happy memories.
Yep.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.